Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, George Ogilvie has an amazing story to tell. He's the managing partner of McDonald Carano, here for the whole show on all new Nevada Newsmakers.
With Commissioner Tick Segerbloom, government is working for District E. He's stood up to Trump, fought to keep ICE out of our classrooms, and protected immigrant families when it mattered most. He funded the UNLV Immigration Clinic to ensure access to legal support. ICE out, Trump out. That's leadership.
You'll be rolling with some swag during the $150,000 Spring Bling giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Make it rain with up to $5,000 in cash every week and 20 large in cash guaranteed during the grand finale drawing. We're blinging in your good times at Tamarack Casino.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government. Give and take. We don't give up, we keep working, we keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, come to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. I couldn't be more pleased to welcome in person to the program George Ogilvie. He is the managing partner of McDonald Carano. Absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much for having me.
I want you to tell a story today. We may get to other things, but I want you to tell a story today that I was just fascinated by at the time. And now enough time has gone by that you can tell the story. If we go back, City Center was a dream of MGM to put up what they considered to be a city within Las Vegas. Multiple towers, the Aria, Vidara, Veer Towers, and more. And part of that project, and it was valued at the time anywhere from $8.5 billion to $10 billion, which was a fortune back then when they were talking about it. It's still a fortune, but not as much as it was, as they say. And it was a very exciting project. Part of it was a tower called the Harmon Tower. And suddenly there were economic crises in the country. MGM couldn't get the financing they needed. Would you pick up the story from the beginning and tell the evolution and how you came to represent the contractor that was building a project, one of the largest building contractors in the United States, Paridi?
Okay. Big topic. The City Center was the dream of Jim Murren, then the chairman of the board of MGM, to, as he described it, Manhattanize the center of the Strip, as you described, various buildings, to make a big city in the middle of the Strip. Incredible dream, incredible vision that he brought to fruition. Unfortunately, come 2008, the whole country was in an economic downturn, to say the least, if not an economic crisis. Money was drying up. The need for condominiums that were in the Harmon Tower or designed to go in the Harmon Tower, as you mentioned, decreased. In fact, there was really no need for those. The top 28 stories of a 48-story designed Harmon Tower were going to be condominiums. And MGM was going through some struggles from all reports. They were 60 days away from filing bankruptcy in 2008, but made some changes.
Can I just jump in as we go here? So they couldn't get, the banks would not finance.
Correct.
And it wasn't until Senator Reid jumped in that they were rescued. That was why they were so close to bankruptcy.
So Senator Reid, as you say, was the Senate Majority Leader at the time and carried a great deal. He carried more influence than I think almost any Nevadan knows. The amount of influence that he had in D.C., not just in politics, but in business. And as you say, he got involved. He got financing for MGM, saved MGM, essentially, and assisted MGM in moving forward with the project. As you say, I was hired to represent the contractor, Perini Building Company, after the completion of the project. So the project completed in December 2009, and it was in Perini's, to Perini's credit, on time and under budget. And at the time that Perini completed the project, it was over $490 million.
Okay, and let's stop for a second just to point out that the as you say, the Carmen was the last piece in the puzzle, and it was not completed. MGM had stopped it. Why did they stop the construction of the Harmon to what it was supposed to be?
So along
And what was their reasoning?
about the 20th floor, construction of the 20th floor, it was discovered that there were some misplaced and missing rebar within structural elements, beams and columns. The design was difficult, if not impossible. But for 7 floors, floor 13 to 20, there were construction defects by the subcontractor that was placing the rebar. And when that missing and misplaced rebar was discovered, MGM called timeout. Let's examine this. And they decided that they didn't want to proceed with the rest of the construction of the top 28 floors. They say that MGM said at the time they couldn't. The construction defects wouldn't allow the completion of the tower, that because of the defects, the structural elements on the lower floors wouldn't support the weight of the upper floors. Perini Building Company hired an outstanding structural engineer, John A. Martin and Associates, who designed a fix for the missing and misplaced rebar on the lower floors. That would have cost about $20 million. MGM rejected that, and their engineers said, no, that repair won't work. We're not going to build any further. In fact, we're going to scrap this building altogether.
Okay, so basically they were saying that the structural integrity of what had already been built was not sufficient.
Correct.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll continue. It's a fascinating piece of Nevada history after this time out.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation, Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with George Ogilvie. He is the managing partner of McDonald Carano and represented Tuda Perini in the lawsuit with MGM over City Center and specifically the Harmon Tower. Please continue with the story.
Well, people remember the Harmon Tower. The lawsuit was a lot greater. The lawsuit was all about the entire development. And as I say, at the time Perini completed construction, it was over $490 million. We filed a lawsuit, recorded a mechanics lien, and filed a lawsuit to recover the $400 million. MGM responded saying, not only do we not owe you $500 million, you owe us $600 million. So
on what basis?
Delays, overbillings, inefficiencies, defects on the Harmon and on other buildings. Over the course of the next 5 years, the parties litigated all of that and came down to and resolved all of those inefficiencies. Probably to the credit of the judge that oversaw the litigation, Betsy Gonzalez. She had seen what the Venetian construction and litigation had done to dozens of subcontractors who built the Venetian, and Sheldon Adelson wouldn't pay, and that resulted in probably 5 years of litigation. In the meantime, subcontractors filed bankruptcy and went out of business. Judge Gonzalez in the City Center case said, we're not going to do that. We're going to get these subcontractors' claims resolved and get them paid before they go out of business. And she set up a protocol in the litigation that did exactly that. And I would say 90% of the MGM's claims about inefficiencies, overbillings, rework, the construction defects were defeated through that process. So at the end of the 5 years, what we were left with was going to trial about the viability of a fix for the Harmon Tower.
Okay, so that's what it came down to. There are those that say that at the time, MGM just didn't need that many more rooms. And this was potentially an excuse to be able to say that we're done with this. Was there any reality to that?
Well, that certainly was one of Perini's theories of the case, and that's what we were going to present to the jury, that our structural engineers had designed a $20 million fix that would have allowed the completion of the 48 stories, and MGM, in the middle of the Great Recession, found that it didn't have a need for, and in fact would lose money on, the condominiums that it was going to build in the Harmon Tower. And that was the basis of the decision by MGM to stop construction and tear the Harmon down.
So did this change case law for these kind of lawsuits going forward?
I wouldn't say case law. I would say process, the procedure from A, filing the complaint, to Z, going to trial. The judge, in conjunction with the lawyers for both sides, created this process to resolve all of these subcontractor claims, get them paid, and get those smaller issues, not smaller to those subcontractors, but in the grand scheme of things, smaller issues resolved in an expedited fashion, so the MGM and Perini could focus on what was really the 800-pound gorilla, which was the Harmon Tower.
Okay, so as much as you can share, what were the conversations with Perini? What was their reaction to all of this? Were they astonished that they were being dealt with in this manner?
Astonished, no. Disappointed, obviously. But Perini's in-house construction people and pre-construction people just put their heads down and went to work on documenting how to resolve these subcontractor claims and all of these claims that Perini felt had no merit, and pretty much showed had no merit. Really, within 3.5 years, got almost all of those resolved.
Okay, so you worked on this from day one. What was the effect on you throughout this process?
I say to people all the time. When I started working on this, my oldest son was 5'3" and in middle school, and when we finished, he was 6'3" and graduating from high school. And in that time, it was the first thing that came to my mind when I woke up in the morning. It was the last thing I thought of when I went to sleep at night, and then occupied every thought I had between that time. 365 days a year, woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it. It monopolized not only my professional life, but my entire life for 5 years.
You know, when you tell this story, it brings to my mind Kurt Kerkorian, because Kurt Kerkorian seemed to be, from everything I've read, such a straight arrow when it came to dealing with contractors, employees, customers, the whole deal with the NGM fire. I think he would have been aghast at what occurred here. Not so much for the money, not so much for the reasoning, but for the fact that it affected the subcontractors so much, because it seemed like he cared about the people.
I would say that there was an evolution of MGM from the days where Kurt Kerkorian ran it as still a large corporation, obviously, but it was much smaller and personal than the corporation run and owned by shareholders across the country, across the world. The board had a lot more difficulty dealing with its shareholders than Kurt Kerkorian did, and that resulted in difficult decisions being made by NGL.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because now as we look at the Las Vegas Strip, the number of individual owners of hotel casinos is less than a handful.
Oh yeah. Yes, the evolution of the Las Vegas Strip. There's NGM, there's Caesars, and there's not a lot other than that.
Wynn.
Las Vegas Sands. Those four, and pretty much nothing more.
And yet you have the individual owners like Derek Stevens in downtown, the Circa, and Phil Ruffin with Treasure Island and Circa.
John A.R. knows this property, and they're all doing very, very well. But the consolidation in the industry over the last let's say 20 years has been remarkable.
One of the things that has struck me, I don't know if this is an area of your expertise or you just have a thought on it, is I know from 2008 when stock prices plummeted, and I looked at opportunities because gaming always comes back in close, that I thought about buying stock in certain companies. And I was told you have to wait till it gets into double digits because the companies can't borrow money until they get into double digits to save themselves. And now we've seen this whole REIT situation where companies are selling the land under their properties and paying rents to companies like VG. Do you think this is a good idea, a bad idea? Are you okay with it? Because it seems like when you don't own the land, there's risk involved. Yet they all paid their monies during COVID, during recession. Nobody did not pay their leases.
Well, and gaming corporation profits are still up. If I was making a decision and I was going to, if I was in control and was going to sell my property and lease it back, it's not something that I would look long and hard at, but the Wall Street financiers probably have a better understanding of the economics of that than I do. So they've made that determination that that's the best for revenue growth of the corporations themselves.
All right. That's an incredible story about City Center. And I think that's the most complete version we've heard since all of this occurred. Let's take another break and we'll come back. May have some other issues to talk to you about. We'll be right back after this time out.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with George Ogilvie. He's the managing partner of McDonald Carano. And just as an addendum, which we didn't include in the last segment, the settlement for MGM and Tudbrini occurred
the night before I was to make my opening statement for the beginning of a year-long trial.
Incredible. All right, let's change to water. You were at the time the chair of the Colorado River Commission. And of course, we discuss water all the time on this program, as every Nevadan does. And people are concerned about growth. They're concerned about the level of Lake Mead. But is not the reality that with the efficiencies of the Southern Nevada Water Authority and water banked in Arizona, the things that are going on with desalination on the California coastline that are allowing Nevada to get more of the Colorado River by paying for a portion of a desalination plant, that we will be okay going forward because of this?
Well, Southern Nevada is really very, very fortunate to have some forward-thinking water managers, beginning with Pat Mulroy and now John Ensminger. You mentioned the Southern Nevada Water Authority. After Pat retired, John Ensminger became the general manager. And through their efforts and their vision, they've made Las Vegas probably the most drought-tolerant city in the Southwest, far more than Phoenix, Scottsdale, anywhere in California. The buyback of natural turf, replacement with synthetic turf, and the other policies that the Southern Nevada Water Authority have implemented have created a situation for Nevada, Las Vegas in particular, to survive on the really minimal amount of allocation that we receive from the Colorado River. We receive 300 acre feet a year, 300,000 acre feet a year. And because of the return flow credits that we receive for every gallon that we reclaim and put back into the Colorado River, that reduces the calculation of our allocation, or what we use, our consumptive use.
I thank you so much for doing this, and I really appreciate it. We will be back down here in the not too distant future. I hope you'll come back and visit.
Absolutely. Love to.
Absolute pleasure, Joe. Thank you. And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Hotel, where bold ambition meets unforgettable experiences. Feel your game day vibes and celebrate with great food at All American Sports Kitchen, serving amazing flavors and fan favorites. Sip and savor at Aroma Barista Bar. Handcrafted coffee roasted to perfection. Step into the Ahern Live showroom, where concerts, comedy, and unforgettable performances light up the night. We also have the David Yule Art Gallery. It's the only one in the world, and his work is breathtaking. Browse the gift shop. It's a treasure trove of keepsakes, chic essentials, and one-of-a-kind finds. And the space. Almost 30,000 square feet of meetings and events areas ready for you. From weddings and birthdays to quinceañeras, trade shows, banquets, and beauty pageants. Bigger ideas? Let the Ahern team handle all the details so your event is flawless. Ahern Hotel, where moments become memories. Book your next gathering today.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. We'll see you on the next broadcast.